Test one, test one. Hey there. I'm good, how are you? Walking from the car to a house is...
Oh no.
Yeah. And you're pregnant.
Look who's here. Speaking of.
Diego, come up here.
Question is, what parts of the service is Diego leading?
Hotzi Kaddish or the which one do you want to do? We're coming up again. All right. So we will sing the Shema. Ahava.
Everybody can hear that, can't they? Guess who's getting an assignment?
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hope everyone's having a beautiful day. Tonight, our service begins on page 10 in our prayer book. Page 10, the very top, Hine Matov.
Hine matov u'manayim sheberachim gam yachad. 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 Hine matov u'manayim sheberachim gam yachad.
wonderful for all of us to be here this evening. I want to add something into our service tonight, and I will be for the next few weeks, on page 259. 259. If you've watched any of the news over the past few weeks, you know that there's been a crisis in Israel. A vote was taken this past week that could change the nature of the country, in my opinion. We'll be talking about that a little later, but I think it's appropriate for us to say this prayer for Israel. Avinu Shabbat Shalom, Tzur Yisrael v'Go'alo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Simchat Ge'ulatenu. Hagen Aleha be'evrat hazdecha, Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlamaha, V'shalach Orcha v'amatcha l'roshecha, Sarecha v'yotzecha, V'taknem be'etza tova milfanecha, Natata Shalom ba'aretz. V'simchat olam v'yitloshvecha, v'namar amen. Together. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise. Guide them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land, fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Let us say amen. Let's continue now on page 3 in our prayer book. Page 3. Monica and Diego, come up here, please. So we're going to read the top paragraph on page 3. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the good of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Diego, read the bottom.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who causes us with mitzvah, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Page 12. continue now on page 20 as we sing together L'Chadodi.
L'Chadodi, Bikra Kala, B'nei Shabbat, L'Chadodi, L'Chadodi, Bikra Kala, B'nei Shabbat, L'Chadodi, L'Chadodi, Bikra Kala, B'nei Shabbat, L'Chadodi, L'Chadodi, Bikra Kala.
Shabbat Shalom. Let's wish each other Shabbat Shalom. Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom.
We gaan around and around, die gaat Scottish. Yeah, you know, you came up with it.
Shabbat Shalom. How are you? Shabbat Shalom. Long time. How are you? Shabbat Shalom. Hi, Mike. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. How you feeling? Feeling better this week? Good. Good. You're moving faster than me. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. How are you? Nice to see you. Shabbat Shalom, Dad. Shabbat Shalom. How are you? Shabbat Shalom, Karen. Yeah. Shabbat Shalom. Welcome back. How are y'all doing? Good week with the baby? Yeah? Shabbat Shalom. Glad you're here. So, good Shabbos, everyone. It's Simcha time. Any Simchas happening this week? Any good things? Yes?
I have been worried sick about getting my passport in time for my trip coming in the middle of August, and I went to the mailbox this morning, and there was my passport.
Excellent.
Oh my gosh, I gotta follow on top of that because we have the same saga going on. My nephew's getting married in a couple of weeks in Israel, and I wanted to take Lev with me. We need to get a passport, and it's on the way.
I'll tell you what, the message online says you've been approved and the passport will be given to you. And the passport arrived actually 5 days after I was approved.
All right.
It's supposed to arrive tomorrow, so that's a simple.
Other Simchas. Iris. Awesome. We're all thinking about you. Thinking good thoughts. Yes. Yes. Astro turned 8 this week. Yes. Our dog is named Astro. Uh-huh. Any other Simchas happening?
Oh yeah, I'm leaving to go to Montana next Tuesday. High of 75. I
Yep.
don't brag.
You packing your winter coat?
Taking a puffy coat because... Yes, Art.
There is a function from the Jewish group. They rented a house on Tiki Island, and they're making it available to any member of the Jewish community. $40 a whole day, a brunch, a barbecue, booze, water, and it's fun. And they, because of the popular demand, they held it over for one more weekend. So I have flyers. I forgot to hand them out because I was running late. But if anybody's interested, I'll give you more information.
Okay, thank you.
Sounds like fun.
Thank you, Art. Art. Okay. Let's get back on our worship bicycle. And let's turn to page 26. And Ahava is going to lead us in the Hatzi Kaddish.
Yekadal v'yekadash shemei rabba.
Amen.
V'amadivrachute v'amlif malhute. V'chayehonu v'yomechon uchayedecho be'Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv v'meru. Amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach. Le'olam lo mehomaya. Yipara, 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 Yipar v'chaman v'naseh, v'hadar, v'talel, v'talal, shemei d'kudusha brihu, le'lam minkol berhata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damihirat be'oma. v'meru. Amen.
Please turn to page 28. Rise as able for Baruch Hu.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Do you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed.
On page 30, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bivaro ma'ariv aravim b'chokhmah pateach she'arim u'bigvura meshana itim u'machalif et hazmanim u'mesader et hakochavim b'mishparoteim barakia kirtzono borei yom v'layla golal or mipnei choshech v'hoshech mipnei or u'ma'avir yom u'mevi layla u'ma'avdil ben yom u'vein layla Adonai tziva'ot shemo El chai v'kayam tamid imloch aleinu le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai Mariv Aravim. On page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
You may be seated.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha
ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך
והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ולכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו תותפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתיכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem.
Amen.
Page 39 at the bottom. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage, Adonai, to say there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Ya la la la, ya la 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 la la, ya la 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 la la, ya la 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 la
We turn now in our prayer books to page 43. Page 43 as we read together. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, Ve'al Yerushalayim.
V'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat l'asot ha-Shabbat le'tot ha-berit-olam. V'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat l'asot ha-Shabbat le'tot ha-berit-olam. Beini u'bein b'nei Israel oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat l'asot et ha-Shabbat le'tot ha-berit-olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. V'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat l'asot et ha-Shabbat le'tot ha-berit-olam. U'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinachash, Shabbat vayinachash, Shabbat vayinachash. V'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat l'asot et ha-Shabbat le'tot ha-berit-olam. V'shamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat l'asot et ha-Shabbat le'tot ha-berit-olam.
And now we're ready for the Amidah. Please rise, page 46, and let's join together.
Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Adonai Sfatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagi Teilatecha, Ufi Yagi Teilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imaot, U'mevi Geula Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah, Rav Loshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umida Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nemanat Alachayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol, Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, V'Kadoshim B'chol Yom Yalucha Selah, Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh.
Let us all say Amen.
Amen.
You may be seated. Let's continue. Bottom of page 54. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot, and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness, and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. In your gracious love, Adonai our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel who sanctifies your name may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu, B'amcha Yisrael, U'tfilatam b'hava tekabel, U'hi l'ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael Amecha. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha b'yir'ah na'avod. On page 59, at the top. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Ulcha Na'el Lehodot. We join together in our prayer for peace.
Shalom Rama Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et Amacha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rama Yisrael Amacha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Let's use the next few moments for our own private reflection. Please pray silently.
Shalom Imroma. Yaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel Ve'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Imroma. Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel Ve'imru Amen. La 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 la
So now we turn our thoughts to people who are battling illness, those in our community who are struggling at this time. So this Shabbat we call out the names of John Deacons, Debbie Simon, Emily Diamond, the Martinez family, Philip Richardson, Alan Levin, Aaron Kugler, Donna Lees, Margot Seckler, Shmuel Rosenzweig, Wanda Berkowitz, Karen Ellis, Menachem Avraham ben Sarah of Reuven, Iris Rockman, Arlene Rosenbaum, Tanya Thompson, Christina Kurt, Isaac Schwartz, Lenore Adler, Jackie Mills, Aries Leal, Lexi Gardner, Ruth Alford, Sarah Ellis, Judith Levy, and Monroe Zefford. And as we go around the room, feel free to call out names that you carry with you.
Jackie Curtis, Karen Jones. Chris Kelly. Lawrence Cole, Nancy Bryant, and
Let's turn to our prayer on page 253.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage
Blessed One, reach out to all those that we've named and give them a taste of God's presence in their lives and lift their spirits and their souls. Amen. So this Shabbat is a sad time for Israel's democracy. The passage of the amendment this week removing the Supreme Court's jurisdiction to overrule decisions and appointments of Israel's government using the legal standard of reasonableness has reduced the checks and balances placed on what right now is the most extreme right-wing government in the history of Israel. On Monday of this week, the 6th of Av, the ruling coalition of the government of Israel, representing the most radical right-wing government in Israel's short history, passed the first step in their planned judicial overhaul. It will empower the ruling coalition to pass unimpeded their radical legislative agenda, greatly limiting the rights and benefits of Israel's citizens. The court reform would effectively give Netanyahu and his partners complete control over all three branches of government. The Supreme Court in Israel has historically been a protector of the rights of minorities, from Arabs to LGBTQ Israelis to liberal Jewish movements like our own, and critics of the plan worry that it would put those safeguards at risk. Those worries are exacerbated, they say, because the Prime Minister leading the effort to weaken the judiciary is currently on trial and could be sheltered by laws passed by his own administration. The vote, which was boycotted by the opposition in Israel's parliament, the Knesset, was a landmark moment in a conflict that had consumed Israel since the beginning of the year and drawn the attention and criticism of world leaders and a range of diaspora Jewish organizations. Back in March, Dora and I participated in what became the regular Saturday evening protests, which drew hundreds of thousands of Israelis to the streets in all of Israel's major cities. Shouts of democracy and embarrassment echoed off the buildings, and thousands upon thousands of Israeli flags were carried by those of us opposed to the reform. This was so important that past prime ministers, judges, leaders of industry, and the military have opposed this change. More than 10,000 veterans pledged to boycott their reserve duty if it passed. Its critics say that weakening Israel's judicial system will endanger its standing as a democracy and will put minority rights at risk. The image started circulating almost as soon as the Israel government finished voting to approve this divisive piece of legislation. Shisha B'Av, 6th of Av, it said in white Hebrew letters against a black background. Hebrew for the date. That was the Hebrew date on Monday, when these right-wing lawmakers signed off on a law limiting the Supreme Court's ability to use the reasonableness clause. And so this past Wednesday night began the 9th of Av, a dark day in Jewish history. And the connection was made all over the world by Jewish organizations. Israel's leading newspaper each printed an ad on the front page. You probably can't see this, but I'll pass it around. Each of the leading newspapers, their front page was completely black on the day after the vote. Never before in Israel's history have they seen the kind of protests that were put together in order to combat this divisive legislation. So according to Jewish tradition, a string of calamities have befallen the Jews on the 9th of Av. The destruction of the first temple in 586 BCE, the destruction of the second temple in 70 CE, both known as Korban Habayit in Hebrew, destruction of the house, the burning of the house, are the most prominent in a list of events cited by Talmudic sages in prescribing a day of fasting, prayer, and mourning rituals. A series of more recent tragedies also took place on or near Tisha B'Av, including the expulsion of the Jews from England in 1290, from France in 1306, from Spain in 1492, the beginning of the liquidation of the Warsaw Ghetto happened on the 9th of Av, and the deadly 1994 bombing of the Jewish Community Center in Buenos Aires, all on the 9th of Av. I'm going to quote from a Jewish Telegraph Agency article. In Israel, even in the most secular spaces, people are referring to what the government is doing as Korban Habayit, said Rabbi Joel Jacobs, executive director of Truah, the liberal rabbinic human rights group. It's really clear that this is just a major incident that is going to have really lasting repercussions for Jews and also for Palestinians. One of the reasons that the Talmud mentions for the destruction of Jerusalem is the way that the judges were judging. The explanation is complex, she said, but it boils down to the idea that the judges were applying the law very narrowly and not bringing in their own wisdom. The reason that the rabbis taught us all these reasons that the temple was destroyed was not so they could say, this is what people were doing back then. Weren't they terrible? Jacob said. It's about teaching us a lesson for today. So what can I say that will matter to us? I mean, we're here in Texas. Israel's a long way away. So a colleague of mine, Joseph Metzger, posted this past week an open letter to our Israeli colleagues asking, what do you want me to say this Friday night at my synagogue that would be fruitful and helpful? And I have a couple of responses. Rabbi Alona Lisitsa, one of our colleagues in Israel, said, "We have so much educational work to do here, and we need true partners." How true that is. Rabbi Chaim Shalom said this, I want you to talk about hope. I want you to talk about love. I want you to talk about how hard it is to see a country one loves choose a dangerous path of self-harm. I want you to make clear that democracy is not just the tiny, thin majority enforcing its will on the minority. And that is true wherever we are. There are universal moral truths which we cannot turn our backs on. This is the message of this week's Parsha, Vayet Hanan, which contains both the Ten Commandments and the Shema. The coming together of the Ten Commandments as a symbol of the most fundamental moral truths, and our credo, Shema Yisrael, a statement spoken to the particular Israel, but focused on the universal Echad, one. We turn to each other as fellow members of the people of Israel to remind each other of the oneness of creation, that we're all in this together. Whichever part of the human family fails, we all fail. And so, yes, we have a piece in this tragic outcome, but not equally. The people who suffer the most are those who are already weakened. Palestinians, LGBTQ, Israelis, the women, the poor, the disadvantaged. Those are the people who lost their protection on the 6th of Av. Democracy is not just by the people and of the people. It must also be for the people. All the people. And this great injustice in Israel is part of a long abandonment of universal values, which the people of Israel have allowed to happen for far too long. This loss of democracy for Israel is the natural end of our giving up on democracy when we become comfortable, too comfortable in our lives. But this is not the end. We shall overcome this because we have hope and because we love human beings. When we were in Israel, our guide shared with us a song. The song is called Ein Li Eretz Acheret. I have no other country. And I want to share with you in closing the words to the song. I have no other country, even if my land is aflame. Just a word in Hebrew pierces my veins and my soul. With a painful body, with a hungry heart, here is my home. I will not stay silent because my country changed her face. I will not give up reminding her and sing in her ears until she will open her eyes. I won't be silent because my country has changed her face. I will not give up reminding her and sing in her ears until she opens her eyes. Ein li eretz acheret. I have no other country. Until she will renew her glorious days. Until she will open her eyes. My friends, we are the voice that must bear down to ensure that Israel opens her eyes. And this is the call to you, to your circles, to Jews all over the world, that we cannot turn our backs on Israel and cannot absent ourselves from helping Israel open her eyes. Amen. Ellen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to our members, our guests, our virtual congregation out there. We hope that your participation this Shabbat has been meaningful. Let me share with you some upcoming events that may be interesting to you. It will only take an hour. Please join us on Sunday, August the 6th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for Temple Sinai's indoor Spruce Up for the holidays. For the High Holy Days, excuse me. We will be getting the building ready for the new year. Lunch will be provided, so please RSVP by August 2nd to Stuart Huson. Check the bulletin you received tonight or the weekly newsletter for more information. Join Hava Gal Or every Thursday for Lunch and Learn Torah study from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. It will be via Zoom, so please reach out to Hava for the link. What do you want for yourself this coming year? With the High Holy Days around the corner, join Hava Galore on Sunday, August the 13th from 9 to 12:30 for a vision board workshop. Seriously, no experience needed. Reach out to Hava for more information and to RSVP too. Join Rabbi Lipper for movies and discussion on Thursday, August 17th at 6:30 p.m. and Thursday, August 31st at 6 p.m. on the themes of the High Holy Days. See the weekly shofar for all the details. We are looking for additional people to help out with streaming our services on Friday nights and some Saturdays. Teens are welcome. Please give us a call in the office if this is something you are interested in. Temple Sinai School is starting August 27th. If you haven't already turned in your paperwork, please do so soon, all of you with children. Temple Sinai is having a shoe drive to raise money while providing shoes for those in need. Please bring gently used matching pairs of shoes now and throughout the summer. There's a box located in the lobby. The shoes will be donated to developing countries. And also, Temple Sinai is a member of Memorial Assistance Ministries, also known as MAM. We are proud to take part in the Back to School program with the goal of providing over 3,000 local students new school clothes and uniforms. There are a few flyers out on the table over here, and there is a poster board in the lobby. Just scan the QR code and make a contribution of any amount. Please join us for Kiddush and Motzi and fellowship following the service right out in the atrium right out here. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.
I'd like to make an announcement. On the 19th of August, we're doing a Havdalah. It's New York style. It's hot dogs, black and white cookies, Dr. Brown's soda, pickles. So please RSVP.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
You
very
heard the
much.
woman.
And there might be a story or two. So let's turn in our prayer books now to page 283. 283. Please rise as able for Elena.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, bate gdula le'oser breshit, shu sam chelkenu li'ached et shemo, v'gor aleinu lamlich malchuto, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu noteh shamayim v'yoser haaretz, u'moshav ikaro b'shamayim imal, u'shchinatu zo, v'gohei meromim, u'Eloheinu enod, emet malkeinu efesulato, kakatu b'torato, Yarata yom ve'ashevota el levavecha, ki Adonai hu Elohim, hashamayim imal, ve'al haaretz mitachat enod, v'ne'emar ve'aya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
May be seated. At this sacred time, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, those of every race, nation, and faith whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. Let us meditate on the loss, page 289, paragraph number 3. The light of life is a finite flame. Like the Shabbat candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty, but soon it fades and its substance is consumed and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our life burns down in gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more and are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory slowly fading into the darkness.
With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die.
We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. This week we remember Elsie Drescher, mother of Francis Aronson, Horace Osterman, father of Eric Osterman, Carol Osterman, and grandfather of Matthew Osterman. Benedict Berner, father of Karen Oliner. Elsie Sanders. Lois Barish, sister of Art Barish. Molly Katz, mother of Gail Kovaler. Are there any additional names for Kaddish this evening? For all of them, let us say, Zichronam Levaha, may their memories be with us as a blessing. Together we turn to page 294 and rise as a community for Kaddish. Yet Gadal v'yet Kadash Shemei Rabbah, v'alma devara chirute v'amlech malchute, v'chayechon v'yomechon, chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael, Ba'galav ezman kariv v'meru amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam alamei alamaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'par v'tramam v'tnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal, Shemei Kutsha Barichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nehemata, damiran b'yalama v'imeru amen. Yehi Shalom Rabba Min Shemayim. V'haim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. V'mru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'mramav. Huya Oseh Shalom. Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. V'mru Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and bring comfort to all who are bereaved among us. Amen. Please turn in the back of your prayer books to page 374 as we close our service with Hatikvah.
O Lord, Balevav Penima Nefesh Yehudi Homiya Ufatem Israel Kadima Ayin Letzion Sophia Od lo avda tikvatenu Hatikva bat shnot apayim Li'otam chofshi be'artzenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim Li'otam chofshi be'artzenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim.
As we draw our service to a close, we still have one thing to do. My dear good friend and rabbi, Jack Siegel, taught a very important lesson. And that was that every Shabbat should be sweet. And so as you depart the sanctuary, please see Dora, who has a bag of sweets to help you start your sweet Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.